Hey, welcome back everybody. It's Shino. And we are back on the Rusty Gears SMP server. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Back here at the little hole area and still mining some stuff out. We don't have the hole dug yet. You can see we're got some bedrock showing. We've had a lot of people here helping out. Big thank you to Sid, to Grand, to Punk. Not sure who else all's been here. I've just been kind of watching as things have been going across. My message board let me know that, and Discord let me know that people have been over here working. So if I missed anybody, thank you very much. Just let me know who else been here. Anyway, so I had said last episode that we were going to have this done, and we would start building in the collection area. And we're still going to do the collection area today. We're not done digging. Like I said, you can see that if you look at this right now, it says that I'm standing on 83. If I come up here to this surface here, we're at 90. But there's a good chunk going down and along. So we're getting much closer to where we need to be. Ooh, some tin. We're getting closer to where we need to be at. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and start working on the next section of this, okay? We're going to decide where the collection area is going to be at on this, and I have been thinking about this. We've talked about how, 76 or so, we start getting negative temporal stability, but it stays really, really not bad going all the way down. So I think we're going to end up putting the collection center. What's that? We're going to end up putting that collection center. I really think like right here is where we're going to put it at. Maybe a little bit higher because we're going to have to do a little bit of kind of building in here. So I'm thinking, we might come up here to like, I don't know, maybe Y level 2. Y level 3, does that sound good? Like right in this area? That's what I'm thinking. Let's hollow out a little space here. We're going to go 2 in every direction. Sorry about my voice. I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. Had a little bit of change in weather in our area, and it kind of got me for a little bit of a, not sickly, but just, a little change in my voice. So initially we're going to have a 5x5 area. The plan is, here's what I'm thinking. We're going to hollow all this out down to bedrock anyway, so down to the mantle. And then we're going to build up from there. My plan is we're going to have the spawn pads going out in all 4 directions and at the diagonals. And we're going to use diagonal water chambers to bring them into us. As we go up above, we'll have water chambers or water paths that will lead them to drop pits that will drop them into the water chambers that are coming by or onto the splat pads to the level below it. Okay, I don't want them to lose a lot of damage, or I don't want them to lose a lot of health, but I want them to lose, if I can, I'd like to have them lose a significant amount. Now, we already talked about that if we go up to Y level 32, we won't get, very many spawns up above that level. So we're looking at basically to level 34 this will be the last spawn pad area. Actually, 32 will be the last spawn pad area because they're too tall. So 32 will be the top spawn pad area. And then everything above that is going to be additional space for other things that I've got plans for as far as mob farms go. So what we'll need to do, what we're going to do first here is I don't want to build the spawn pads yet. The reason being is I don't want a lot of stuff spawning and falling on us while we're down here working on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this in a couple of different steps. Step 1, we're going to build the collection area, and we're going to work on the way of getting the drops back up here so that we can get them back out and over to our storage area. So that's going to be kind of step one, or actually step one's digging all this out. That's going to be like what we're going to be covering in this episode, at least as far as getting the collection area together. And then we'll come back in and we'll work on the drop chutes. Hopefully by that time we'll have, a large majority of this will be dug out. And then the final step will be, then we're going to build the spawn pads and seal this all up. Okay. So we want to have it working before we get to the point that we have spawn pads set up. Final step is going to be creating a lot of these guys right here, and getting them moved over so that we can shut off spawning. So these night watchers will shut off spawning for up to 32 blocks from them, and that's in all directions. So 32 that way, that way, that way, and that way, that way, and that way. So these are going to be placed at Y level 64, and they'll be 32 blocks, or roughly the 25 blocks or 26 blocks, whatever it was, then plus the 32 going out that way. So the idea is it'll shut off spawning for areas more than 32 blocks away from this center point. That means that the only drifters that can spawn while you're in this will be on the spawn pads. Cool. I think that's going to work out good. Okay. But to get those, we're going to need a lot of gold. And that's something I don't have a lot of. So I'm sure we can probably get some from some folks, but I have kind of another solution that I want to think about. And that is through using this. So right now we can see we've got one gold nugget, 50. So we're getting quite a bit of stuff out of this. And if you've watched any of the years, these things are a little OP. You fill this up with sand or gravel or whatever, and yeah, it's going to make you rich. And one of the things that we are getting quite a significant amount of out of here is going to be the copper. And one of the other things, I don't see any in here now, but sometimes we'll be getting tin out of it as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to make us a couple more rubble storages. Let's go to H, rubble. Copper plates. Do I have any copper plates available? Nope, but I can get a couple here really quick. So there is the 4 plates. I already got the 4 hammers made. And there is our 4 rubble storages. Now, did we really need 4? Maybe not, but we have been getting a lot of stone out of this area, and these just make, besides having the barrels, which I may bring some barrels over here too, but these just do a really, really good job, and they're going to help us get more copper and more gold when we fill them up. So I can take this. There we go. Hit the control button. And there was, oh yeah, a whole bunch here. Yeah. 1,922. Now, if you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, my rubble storage doesn't hold that much, you're probably right. There is a command file in the JSON for the config, which will allow you to store a lot more in here. So 2,048 stone, and you could set that value for actually quite a bit more if you wanted to. Here we go. Go ahead and get some more of this going. There we go. A little bit more. So, that chest right there, definitely holding more than what we've got here. But here's the cool thing about this. I can now take this rubble hammer, And I'm going to sit there and see where it says, let's see, shift lock to lock it. I'm going to put this on the gravel, and I need to be on an empty hand, hold the shift key, and I'm going to click that. Now it's locked on gravel. So now as we hit this, it's only going to make gravel now, unless you accidentally hit one of the other buttons. Cool. So now I can make this, I can turn this all into gravel. I can take that gravel, I can put it into my sluice, and I'm going to let that sluice then kick it out into the gold and everything else that we need. All right. Let me pound away on this for a little bit, and I will be back. Okay, so one question I have about doing this is, are we going to get a positive gain from being able to do this? Meaning, are we going to get more copper than what we have already done? So I'm going to clear some of this stuff out of here. Okay, so let's grab the gravel out of here. Pull stacks. You see we had 497 from that, so it was an uncommon hammer that I used. And we're going to put this into here. There we go. And of course, as a reminder, that's going to go into there. That's going to fill up into here. It's going to go down and fill up, and then it will start collecting stuff here. Okay, so that's my plan for this overflow of stuff. We're going to take and try to get as much of this going into this and see how much gold we can get out of it. And if we get enough gold out of it, then, or hopefully we'll get enough gold out of it that we can then make the other night watchers that we need. Okay, I had to jump into my creative test world, and I wanted to see if I could come up with a better design. Let's talk about how water works in the game. Water will move from the highest point to the lowest point. So if you have a hole like I have back here, water will continue to move only in the direction it goes. I put this in here to kind of force this water column not to try to back up that way. So you have sometimes an instance where water, when it's coming down, will try to go back on the water, and you see kind of get stuck. So I was trying to find a way to prevent that from happening. Not having a lot of success, but we still know that we can move drifters with a water channel. So if I were to put a drifter here, see the water's going to push it, going to take it right along. Okay, so we know that we can move them with water. So what I decided to do, let's find this one over here, is we're going to be moving them with water channels. I don't need this anymore. Or that side. We're going to be moving them with water channels, and this is going to be like the central collection area. So the spawn pad will be, up above here. Probably to about like that level right there. And we'll have a spawn pad, and that spawn pad will then also have channels that will move them, and we're going to funnel them into a drop chute like that right there. Okay, and they're going to fall down that chute. The water's going to push them down that chute, and they're going to fall to the next layer of the collection system, and that next layer will be right here. Let's close this up. Okay, so mobs will be spawning up above in chambers up here, the drifters, and then they will drop and they will land on the next platform and the water channel, next platform, and funnel down until finally they drop down that hole. Now, I just wanted to test, and so the metal spikes in the game that you can get sometimes is a drop whenever you're looking at the locust nest. That is this thing right here. You'll see these in some of the ruins. Sometimes you can collect those in this version. In later versions, you can get them if you use the glue. But in 118, they're kind of a random one. So I did put a set down there because they will cause damage to drifters. So if I spawn a drifter in, I hear him take a little bit of damage, and he's going to fall into this channel, and there is a water block that's on this side, and there's a water block that's on that side, which pushes them towards the center. Now, what I've also done is there is a water block directly above their head, which would be... no, there's no water block above their head. No, I got rid of that one. But water goes to the lowest point. So what I wanted to make sure I had was a low point. So I put a trapdoor right there, and then I can put a block in front of it if the drifter wasn't in the way. There we go. Put a block in front of it. So now that becomes the lowest point. Water's going to flow to that point. And as you just saw what happened when the drifters are in here and they fall in, sometimes they'll take a little bit of damage, but they'll get moved, especially when let me go into normal. There we go. So they'll end up coming to this point. Now he's kind of stuck there. He can't hit me. He can't throw rocks at me, but I can do damage. And as soon as I kill him, you see the water pushes him across the top of that trapdoor and pushes him right out. Well, let's see. Now, if I go and I close that trapdoor, there he goes. It'll go ahead and push him farther out onto this area right here, where then I can harvest them. Like that. All right, so let's say we have, let's do GM2 for just a moment. We're back in creative mode. Let's go ahead and spawn in several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to spawn in 5. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go back into GM1. Now they're going to start throwing rocks at each other. There's spikes on the ground. They're going to hurt each other. They're going to do damage to themselves. But as soon as I kill one, and I can now close that door, and it's going to push the dead ones out, and it's going to leave the live ones still inside that little chamber. Cool. So now I can go through and I can harvest. Those guys in there can't get to me. There we go. And then when I am ready to start killing some more, I can open it back up, do some damage, close it back up, push the dead ones back out, rinse and repeat. So I guess the one thing we really need to try is, what about the higher tier drifters? So let's go in here and let's grab a corrupt drifter. Let's grab a nightmare drifter. And heck, let's grab a double-headed. Okay. And let's put them into this little thing and see what happens. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into GM1. So now I'm back in survival mode. Can they hit me? All right, they can't hit me with rocks. I'm 2 blocks away, so they can't reach me. There's one dead. There we go. Very nice. Yeah. I think it's working pretty good. That's the only bad thing. The hitboxes do stick up just a little bit, so you're going to have a situation sometimes. That's why I like being able to get around to the other side. if we need to. The spikes, I think, are going to be a big positive. They're going to help out a lot, I do believe. So yeah, I think this is going to work. Oh, here's one problem I see. So there is a guy still dead inside there. That's not a good thing. Want to make sure that if they die, they can make it out this point. So the spikes may not be a good thing to have there. Let's go to GM2. I break that. So yeah, that'll go ahead and move them on out. So the spikes there will help kind of bring down a little more damage on them, which is good. So maybe I need to have the spikes more in a position where it can cause them damage but not kill them and not impede them coming out this bottom area right here. I think that's going to work. So this is what I'm going to be building. So let's get back into the Rusty Gear server and see if we can get a couple of these chambers built down in our mob farm. All right, let's start off by, we're going to put the collection point for each one of these sides going to be like right there in the center. So we'll go ahead and kick this back a little bit. All right, and probably ought to go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead, knock me out of spot here to get in. So this is going to be the collection point right there. Then we know we're going to need to have one more spot back. So that'll be kind of like the landing spot where they're going to come in at, right? And that means that's going to be where the trapdoor is going to take the water down into. Let me just go ahead and clear this back out here just a little bit. That's fine. There's just a little extra space here to work. So that's going to be where the water is going to go in at. And do I have any extra trapdoors? I do. Let's convert those over to save me some space. So that trapdoor is going to be right there. And not that direction. It's going to go that way, just like that. Okay, so that is where that collection spot's going to be. Let's go ahead and we're going to knock this back. So they're going to be, the bad guys will be kind of sitting like right here, right? We'll have a block up above, which means this is going to be the tunnel that they're going to be moved on water by. And I do want this to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to make that 7 wide. And I'm going to need some water. Oh, I have a water. Oh, I didn't want that. Let's do this. There's a hole right here. We're going to put 1 bucket of water in there. And we'll put a couple of buckets out here, just kind of set them around. So we'll have water on this side. And see, you went right to that spot. Perfect. And we're going to have water on that side. Kind of slowing on that corner just a little bit. I'm wondering if I should round the corner just a bit like this. See what that does moving me through. It works pretty good. I'm gonna throw a couple stones. Yeah, they're coming this way. Okay, I think that'll work. So we're going to modify that design just a little bit, just give it a little extra space, then to move this way. Sweet. Okay, so that is one of the drop chambers done. And this, and the other one I had at 1 high. This is going to be just a little bit higher and a little wider. There we go. All right, let's close up. Close this up right there. And that is a functioning collection system. Now, the only thing I'm going to have to do is, are we going to need to be up? And I don't think we will. I think actually I'd be able to come in, knock out that block, that block, that block, and that block. And I think if I just go ahead and do that, I think we'll be okay. We'll be able to harvest, we'll be able to close, we'll be able to hit them. The only thing this is going to do is just give us a little extra space to be away from them. So I think that'll work, right? And we can even, if we wanted to, I mean, we could, just for decoration purposes, we could go ahead and put some stones in around the edges like that. Any more? A couple more there. Yeah, we could put a couple of those in. We could, oh, I don't know. We could probably put stairs in here if we wanted to. I don't know. I'll have to think about how to decorate it. Maybe I'll get some help from some folks to come in here and decorate. But I think that'll work. So now what I need to do is go ahead and duplicate this on all 4 sides. And that'll be done. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. All 4 sides are now done. We've still got a lot to do on this farm. It's not near complete yet. But like I had said earlier, I don't want to create spawn pads if I don't have a place that I can collect the mobs into. One of the ideas behind having a spawn farm is to control the direction that your mobs can go. So if you create, a big spawn area like this, and you don't have a spot for your mobs to go, then you have to deal with them. Just like in Minecraft, we would, build the spawn pad and then break the torches, right? So that's what we're kind of doing here. So this is going to work. I believe this is going to work out pretty good. We've got 4 chambers. Each one is 7 wide. And so we'll have a channel up going above that will be able to start funneling mobs in from the corners and down the center. And they'll be able to land in this channel and then get collected into each one of these areas. And so while we're working in one area, they'll be building up hopefully in the other areas. And then we can just rotate back and forth between them. Collect as many mobs as we want. And if we don't want to collect any mobs, we can shut these off. And then we don't have to worry about the mobs coming through. Pretty cool. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to come back and start working on the spawn pads and finish digging this area out. We'll keep doing that between episodes, but it's coming along pretty good. All right, thanks for spending time with me. This is Shino, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.